Formula V race fans, here we are for race 3 of round 4 of the world's greatest Formula V State Championship, the New South Wales Formula V State Championship, this weekend at Wakefield Park. It's a Sunday afternoon, the last race of the weekend.
Alright, so here we go. We've got Daniel Reynolds to start on pole from Stubbsy, Pacey, Darren Williams, Gary Hook, Corinne Perry, Craig Conlon and Morgan Fremantle. Let's see if today Simon Pace has got a match for Stubbsy, and let's see if Stubbsy's got a match for Reynolds.
Well, that's Daniel Reynolds' home track. Daniel comes from Canberra, the capital of Australia, only about 50 miles away. And,
they're off.
And they're off, and of course Daniel doesn't want to give away.
That's another jump.
And it's another lead that he's given away.
So Stubbsy's 2 from 2 on the 2 races on Sunday.
Well, was that Simon Pace right on down the inside of Daniel Reynolds, I think? The rest of the cars stream through. Here we are, the 400 cars.
There's Lockie Higgins. He had a busy day, busy race this morning.
Yeah, he looks like he's the last of the 1200, the 1600s, but I don't think he wants to be that for too long.
No, he's been showing a lot of good pace lately, Lockie Higgins, so I suspect you'll see him moving forward.
Exactly right. Now, Matt Stubbs from New Zealand, Australian Formula V's only international driver, leading the race into the pit short. Daniel Reynolds in the red Sabre right on his tail.
Oh, Corinne Perry off.
Corinne's off.
Oh, she's back on there. Oh, no, she's not.
No, that was Morgan Fremantle. That was
Craig Conlon.
Craig Conlon.
Okay, so Corinne had a massive lose. She put a couple of wheels on the dirt on the outside of the approach to the official. Right. Here's Reynolds up the inside of Stubbs.
Right, is that the race over for Matt? I hope not. We'll see as the race goes on.
Well,
Simon Pace right there. He's not giving up at all. Hasn't lost an inch.
Okay, so you've got the front straight here where Stubbs can use the toe, and let's see how well he's used it. He looks like he's pulled out.
He had to pull out pretty early too, didn't he?
No, looks like he's got him.
Will he get him? We know that Matt knows how to drive. It's pretty hard to go around the outside here. Yes. Yeah. What do they call discretion? The better part of stupidity, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. Look, there's Drew Beecham. He's making his way back after an incident yesterday, this morning.
In the race 2 this morning. All the cars not too far apart. The 1200 cars not too far behind, of course.
Put your hang in there with Lockie Higgins there. He'll be hoping to try and pull a lap record.
We'll keep an eye on Corinne. She's obviously in last place. Let's see. No, we know Steve's trying to get lap records at every race this year, and he's been pretty close, hasn't he, on a couple of occasions?
He certainly has. The lap record here currently is held by Michael Kinsella, and he's had that for a few years. I know a few people have come close over time. Look at that. Who's that? Bernie Cannon up the inside of Butcher.
That is Bernie down the inside of Butcher. Bernie's leading the 1200 race.
Not for long.
Not for long. Only for about not even one corner, I think.
No, but what happened to Butcher? He must have made a mistake somewhere there.
All right. Well, Butcher, Stephen, I call you Butcher, has had a few technical problems this year.
Run out of fuel.
Reynolds
has got a gap already. Look at this, couple of car lengths, and Simon Pace is in front of Stubbsy. Great work.
Simon's made an aggro move. Well done, Simon. A safe driver normally. So we'll see how this goes out for you for the rest of the race.
Okay, so who we've got here? Steve Gamara, Lockie Higgins, Lee Porter, followed by Corinne, Butcher, and Bernie Cannon's running with Butcher. Go, Bernie!
Bernie's showing a bit of fire. Normally the quietest, most gentlest guy you can imagine, but not when he's got that helmet on, not in this race.
That's right, okay, so when Bruce Perry's got a bit of a jump there on, is that Michael Gale? Okay.
Michael Gale and Jeff Bassingthwaite in the red and white Avanti. Well off, bit of dust.
Yeah, a bit of dust there from Pacey, I think that was.
Right, Gary Hook, he's fallen behind a few spots in this race. He's got Craig Conlon ahead of him.
And Morgan
Fremantle. Morgan's obviously had a good start.
Actually, Simon Duffy ran Morgan's car at this track in the AASA State Championship and did a fantastic job in that car.
And good to have Simon back too. Hopefully we'll see him soon.
Yep, okay, so Reynolds has Stubbsy's got past Simon Pace again.
Yeah, Daniel's consolidated his position definitely.
Okay.
And Stubbsy has regained second place.
Yep, Simon's definitely looking for a pass there again, so he's definitely got pace. Pace has.
He does. Yeah, obviously Frank Climbing's got that car wound up in the chassis and the motor, and Simon's really getting the most out of it.
Okay, so in this group here you've got Drew Beecham's had a fairly quiet weekend by himself. I mean, he had it off in the race this morning, but he's not been racing around. He's been between 2 groups most of the weekend.
Well, Drew, we know that when he puts his helmet on, he's as serious as any driver, and he obviously doesn't like to be outside of the top 3 or 4.
Yeah, he's a former Victorian state champion.
He is.
My recollection.
Well, he is, and Drew obviously one of the great Formula V people with his dad Greg to run the Beecham racing team where they lease cars out.
Yeah, that leasing also makes him miss out quite regularly on seat time. So his seat time's probably fairly short of late.
Right, and Matt's a good demonstration of if you do drive often, it's like riding a bike. You drive a lot faster too.
Yeah, exactly right. And looks same example. Daniel Reynolds drives often around this circuit, and he's showing that he does do that well.
Okay. Matt starts, consolidating second place. Simon, happy to follow. Still quite a few laps to go in this race. Not to do
Morgan Fremantle's pulling away there from Craig Conlon and pulling away from Drew Beecham, who's pulling away from Phil Oakes.
Right, he's got his car wound up, obviously.
There's Gamara and Brody.
Brody Tilbrook.
Oh, that was Gary Hook.
Gary Hook, he's falling back.
He must have had a moment there.
He's falling back, definitely.
Okay, and Bernie Cannon sort of lost a couple of car lengths there to Butcher as well.
So Butcher's finally got his red, white and blue stinger wound up, but gee...
Butcher's just taken a lap record there, I think, following Kareem. Yeah, I think Butcher's got the new lap record. By couple of hundredths of a second or something.
Well, that's a really brilliant thing to do in the 1200 class, 10 years after 1600s have started. Steve's just proven that there is life in the 1200 class, and there's no reason why they can't drive at lap record speed all the time.
Well, there was some comment there that the 1200s needed some freshen up to make them quicker, some help with the engine department, but Butcher's just put watch to that.
Probably not the case, you're right, yeah. But I'll tell you what, he's obviously dragged Bernie Cannon along. Bernie's driving brilliantly in this race.
He certainly is.
He's just clearly demonstrating wheel-banging fire that we just would never expect from him.
Bernie does do quite well at Wakefield, though. He does. I think he prefers it as one of his tracks.
Okay.
Darren Williams has fallen away from this group with Stubbs and the battle between Stubbs and
Morgan Fremantle there, just about turning left up the hill, doing a brilliant job, showing some speed. Morgan does tend to go a little bit faster and a little bit slower from race to race, doesn't he?
Well, I think this is probably one of Morgan's strongest performances in pace-wise to the guys in front of him for a long time.
Okay. 1200 cars just going through the last corner there.
Which is still running there with Bruce Perry.
Bruce Perry and Peter McDonald just going through turn 2. Michael Gale and Jeff Bassingthwaite just taking up the rear of the 1200 class.
Okay, so here you go. Stubbs is being harassed here big time by Simon Pace, and they've actually pulled more time there on Darren Williams. So once the toe goes, it's a lot harder to do the times on your own for. In some cases.
Right, for those people who don't know anything about Formula V, which of course is almost nobody, we all rely on slipstreaming to stay in the turbulent air behind a leading Formula V.
Simon wanted to carry more pace through turn 2 there.
Well, with all that slipstreaming, he was going so fast, nearly ran up the back of Matt, obviously.
Yeah, okay, so next car coming through was Morgan Fremantle, there's Beecham. Craig Conlon, here you go. Lockie Higgins come from the back of the grid. Phil Oakes, he's all over Phil Oakes.
Yeah, great move by Lachlan to pass. Obviously, he's passed about 7 or 8 cars in this race. Gary Hook falling back. He's just behind Lee Porter there.
There you go. Pacey around the outside. Not going to do it there, buddy.
Not down the inside either. Not against Matt Stubbs. No, that may not be the spot to do it.
I'd suggest there's probably not too many moves that are pulled off around the outside of the official.
That's right. But here is a spot that maybe anyone could do if you go left and right early enough.
Here he goes.
Simon may have gone to the right early enough, and he's got that pace and that Mako. That would make engine builder Frank Kleining happy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it looked like he didn't even need the toe there. It looked like he just put his foot down and drove.
That's right. Great move by Simon. Just kept Matt over to the left-hand side just early enough not to be able to cut the line to the inside of the next corner.
Here's Daniel. He's doing it comfortably here. You know, he's knows his track well. He's still using all the curve there. He's still using a lot of track, so he's not shying off. But he's still doing it very comfortably.
Daniel clearly showing his skill and ability by getting first or second place in each race and making sure that the following cars, they duel, they cut with each other left and right, dive down the inside, and you can easily lose 1 to 2 seconds a lap where Daniel doesn't ever need to do that when you're out in the front of clean air on your racing line all the time.
Yeah, well, Daniel does particularly well at this circuit, but I was informed by himself that he's only won 3 races at Eastern Creek, so a guy that's won so many races at so many tracks, maybe there's a reason why he doesn't prefer Eastern Creek to many other circuits.
Maybe that's not something. I'm sure he's won more than 3 races at Eastern Creek.
Came from his own mouth. He's only won 3 races at Eastern Creek.
Okay, I might go back through the records and recheck that. Okay.
I'm only quoting the horse.
Okay.
But he's got a massive gap here, and he's got a win well and truly within his gaps.
Well, maybe he's won 300 races at Wakefield Park, so we'll see how that equals
Actually, Simon Pace has got a bit of a gap here.
Great driving for Simon, see, so He's obviously a conservative driver when following. Now he's in clean air. He can run his own line and get the maximum
Go Morgan.
efficiency.
Morgan's doing a good job there. Morgan's not losing too much ground to those guys. And there's Beecham and
There's Drew.
hang on, where's Phil Oakes gone? He was battling here with Lockie Higgins
He
and
has
Craig Conlon.
disappeared, and Lockie passed another car. It's past Craig Conlon in that fabulous blue and white chaser.
Okay, so now is this Lee Porter or Phil Oakes?
That's Lee Porter.
Lee Porter
Yeah.
so we've lost Phil Oakes. So Brody, there's Phil Oakes coming through there now.
Chris obviously had a spin up the back of the circuit.
Okay, so that's 2 races from 2. You've got 2 white cars there. That's
Okay, but I'll tell you what, they're only just ahead of the first and 400 car, Steve Butcher, in the Stinger. Mr. Stinger, Steve Butcher.
So Mr. Stinger's doing a fantastic job, and unfortunately, if anybody was around Mr. Butcher when he held the Bathurst lap record, everyone had to hear about it for a long period of time. And now that he's picked the lap record up here at Wakefield, poor old Kinsella, because he's not going to hear the bloody end of it.
No, I'm sure. Well, Stephen is a racer, and he likes to win. He likes lap records. He likes fastest laps, as we all do.
Simon Pace has pulled even more space to Stubbs.
Simon's on fire in this race now.
Yeah, okay, so and here's Morgo going great guns again. So that's 2 races in a row today.
And he's pulling out his margin. Drew Beecham settled into a solid pace.
Okay,
Fabulous
but
looking
Lockie
car,
Higgins
though.
is coming for Drew. Lockie Higgins is doing a great job.
Slightly gaining.
Go Brody in his first race
Around
weekend.
the outside of Stephen Gamara.
That's a great looking car, Steve Gamara's car.
The JPS black and gold.
Whoa, almost
So
too wide.
let's see if he can follow Brody up the hill. He's gaining slightly on Stephen, certainly not losing him. Probably putting pressure as they go left up the hill. Now right, flat in 4th, lift, slam it down to 3rd gear for the first of the right-handers to come down the hill.
Okay, so I mean for his first race weekend, I reckon Brody's doing a fantastic job in this Sabre line. Look, he could have a dive up the inside here, or no.
No, he's obviously got that good judgment that a good driver takes.
Well, he definitely got the pace coming down the hill, which was fantastic to see.
Right, so here they rev it out to 3rd gear and come onto the back straight.
Okay, so it looks like Lee Porter's getting caught up again by Phil Oakes. Phil Oakes has got reasonable pace this weekend, but he just hasn't had a bit of luck, or he's just ran out of talent on a couple of occasions.
And Lee Porter doing a solid job as he always does. Every now and then pulls out a great performance to get a top 10 spot.
Okay, looks like Lockie Higgins is going defensive there. And
Nice look a bit. Craig's probably put his visor down. He's he's not getting the dust and the rocks in his eyes.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what happens in the next of this corner. He could get a few more. Alright, so going up, they're still both catching up to Drew Beecham, and Brody's still all over the... Oh, he's looking up. He's not going to make a pass there.
He's a terrier, that Brody Tilbrook, in his debut race weekend.
It's actually a deceptive corner heading up the hill there,
It
because the track actually narrows and you feel like you've got room and you feel like the other driver's squeezing you.
And especially when you go left and then this right hand, your car flicks out to the right in the first left-hander and tail flicks out to the left through that second right-hander at the top of the hill.
Okay, so here comes Butcher. He's got a massive margin in the 1200. So here comes Bernie through now in through turn 2. Bernie was following, but obviously he's lost the sniff and he's fallen off a little bit there
Right,
now.
and Bernie's got a great margin back to
Peter McDonald there.
Peter McDonald, great race meeting.
Bruce Perry and getting lapped here by Daniel Reynolds in the
Really
lead.
good race. Bruce Perry's probably the one that's a little bit off form. Normally we expect to see him in 2nd or probably no lower than 3rd in the 1200 class. So maybe there's something going on with his car this weekend.
Yeah, Simon Pace has put even more margin there to Stubbsy.
Probably Stubbsy smart enough to know that he's not going to win the race from where he is, so he's just driving safely for that position probably.
Oh, I thought he would have track that Simon, but anyway,
A little bit too far back now.
Yeah, a little bit too far back now. So Simon would need to make a mistake.
And even when he's got no pressure and it's easy just to cruise around, you can see Daniel Reynolds just on that line, on the gear changes, on the throttle, as if every lap was the fastest lap.
Okay,
So that's a bit of a close. That's something that maybe Peter or Daniel wouldn't have expected. But
yeah, I'm not sure Peter McDonald saw Daniel coming up the inside or knew that it was the leader.
Okay, but Daniel played it safe, just turned earlier on the exit of that corner and kept a good margin.
Yeah, well, he's not as if he's been threatened by the guy in 2nd, so he had time to be.
I'll tell you what, that 1200 of Peter McDonald, you can see that Black Keskel didn't lose much on Daniel coming down that straight. So 65 horsepower 1200, do you think? Okay,
I think Daniel probably lost a fair bit of exit speed out of the corner as well.
No doubt, yeah. So the positions just staying as they are, as they have been for the last couple of laps. Probably all settled in, just heading and expecting to finish this way when the finish flag comes in a lap.
Here comes Jeff Baxter's way through. He's in a lonely race as well.
He is.
There's Lockie Higgins. He's pulled a little bit from Craig Conlon. He's almost up on to Drew Beecham.
And that's
Brody's through.
He's through. He's through Steve Damari.
Oh, this is where the road.
Keep his position in his left-hand corner.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, we just lose the camera. We'll get back to that in a second.
Okay, I think this is coming through for the final lap in a sec, I think. So, anyway, that heading up there where Brody was going, that road narrows there, so it'll be very interesting to see who had to lift there.
We'll get to see this in a moment.
I think this is the last. We're coming on to the last lap here now.
Okay, second place in 1200 car. We can see there Bernie Cannon in the Kingfisher, followed by the leader who's just about to lap him.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Bernie's looking in his mirrors and will get out of his way.
Oh, bit left, bit right. Which way is each other going to go? Daniel just sneaks through. The leader just sneaks through in the semi-factory Sabre, the vintage V-Dub Sabre.
Okay, so and there's third Peter McDonald. Peter McDonald in his second ever race meet in third in the 1200 is a great.
I'll tell you what, he wants to keep up. He's driving the wheels off that Kestrel, isn't he?
Isn't he right? Okay, so there's Stubbsy, there's Bruce Perry, there's. Okay, so that's Darren Williams.
Darren Williams just backing off. Here we are. A group of cars.
Craig's all over the back of Lockie again. There's Jeff Baxter. 1200. Brody still got him, and that's Gary Hook having a dive up here. That's right. Steve Gamara.
Gary Hook's just gapped Brody Tilbrook and Steve Gamara. So
well, actually, Brody's still in front of Gary.
That's
so
right.
Let's see if Gary Hook can make a pass onto Brody down either in the fish hook at the end of the last corner. Okay. There's Butcher, lead 1200.
He goes through.
Here comes Daniel Reynolds with the win.
The
win number 364.
Something like that, and the third race win of the weekend.
Okay,
well done, Daniel.
Second place for the 1200s.
Bernie Cannon goes through in the Kingfisher. Well done, Bernie.
Simon Pace.
Second place in the outright 1600 class, followed by Matt Stubbs and Peter McDonald. Third in the 1200. Great performance.
And there's the two fourths in the two classes, but with
Darren Perry and Darren Williams. That's right.
Morgo, great job there by Morgo. Here's Michael Gale. Oh. Looks like, see, Lockie Higgins was all over the back of...
That's right, but I think Drew just kept Lockie out over the line.
Okay, and here comes... Gamara got both of them. Steve Gamara got... Gamara and Hook, and Brody's fallen back a bit there. There's Brody there. Jeff Bathingway. Phil Oates, Lee Porter.
It's a great pick of cars when they cross the line, isn't it?
Okay, so and there's Corinne. So Corinne's had a fairly quiet race by her own standards. And the other car is...
So, and here we are. Here's the lead 1200 class, Steve Butcher.
Only car not to be lapped in 1200s.
That's right. So,
and a new lap record. Well done, Mr.
Well
Butcher.
Done, Steve.
Okay, so the results are
Daniel Reynolds first in the vintage V-Dub Sabre. Daniel from ACT, followed by Simon Pace in the Mako. Matt Stubbs in the Drew Beecham Racing Sabre. Darren Williams in the lead Jacer. Morgan Fremantle in Jacer. Drew Beecham in the Jacer. Followed by Lachlan Higgins and Craig Conlon in the 1200 class.
He's Butcher taking the win of the lap record. Bernie Cannon, Peter McDonald, Bruce Perry, Michael Gale and Jeff Bathingway.